think that it doesn't cost you anything. I think you should hand it over. If you don't think you're in the wrong and you're not committing any crimes, they can't charge you anything with anything. They don't have to follow up, but
They won't.
a credible police officer who sees good evidence.
So you gotta support
But the
Cait, so I
prosecutor
figured I might as well
You
record.
know what?
It's unfortunate. They want to. The Grand Rapids police, I know.
So
they
then
want
why
to
do you
this.
keep? So what do you? Why are you going to keep doing what you're doing if there's not going to be police or prosecutor involvement?
Someone watching the video, someone who's been victimized by these people, watched that video, and it's already been proven. It's already been shown to me that they'll see the video, they'll feel empowered to speak up. Everyone knows that they're now, for lack of better terms, a creep, and they'll report it to where that a real investigation will happen by police through the traditional means of prosecution and through the prosecutor, and it makes it all worth it. And still, for good measure, I still report stuff to the FBI just in case if they're investigating a lot of child porn stuff, that it all intermingles across the country, and maybe they're looking for that guy, and I still do it to the FBI. But Michigan and my local community in Kent County, Michigan, the community as the officials, they want to stay far from me. But it's very interesting because most police officers are totally for this, but you have the PR cops, like the people way up there, even like Attorney General Dana Nessel, officially have to say that, oh, we're against this. A lot of cops, I was pulled over by a Kent County sheriff. He loved what I was doing. One of my friends is a Kent County sheriff. He loves what I'm doing. Their bosses hate it. The top of the top guys, they don't want to see this.
But maybe your friends could get you a sit down and say, look, I don't want to be on camera. I won't do the videos. I want to do a good public service. Please investigate these guys. I don't think you're done. I don't mean done with your investigations, but I think that you got to figure out a way to work with law enforcement, because that's the only end game that I see for you. Just putting up these videos, hoping that they're publicly shamed, is one way. But listen, the police officers I know, the sheriffs I know, Dana Nessel I've met, who I think is a wonderful attorney general. I think she's doing lots of good things. I think that you scare them, and I think her office is putting away a lot of. She put out in that statement that she's put away 250 in the last couple of years. So I think that they are doing it, and maybe there's a way to work on the relationship, and we can talk about that offline a little bit.
Yep. So with Dana Nessel, it is unfortunate because I see the news all the time about her working against some Catholic priests who have abused kids. I see a lot of good work by her, but the anti-predator thing for what I'm doing just ruined it for me. Well, and it's unfortunate because she's good, but I think if they don't know anything, I mean, I think they just assume, oh, it's Joe Schmo doing this, he's gonna half-A everything. I think that doesn't sit well with them, but they need to know, they need to research that the evidence sticks, from what I've collected. But I understand why they're hesitant, but it's interesting how you talk about, like, my cop friend. He's a little younger than me, and he's not up there in seniority-wise, so we have talked about when he gets up there, he's kind of the alpha male type. So we have talked about like having his own sting operations and me helping him along the way and doing it that way because of his connections and being a Kent County Sheriff's Department member. But that's way in the future because he's not on the top of the totem pole yet. Right. But things can change over time.
I think that they have to say that. They don't want a bunch of yous running around.
Oh yeah.
But you've perfected something that I think you can help, and I think that you should not give up on the police or the sheriff's department. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. They're all good people. They intend for people not to be victimized, but they just have to do a better job at looking at everything before making a conclusion. That, oh, this evidence will stick, and even when it has, they need to really look at that.
So, at the beginning of the interview, you mentioned some other types of videos you're doing that aren't predator related, like jumping into dumpsters and running around with birds on your shoulder. And the last couple that I saw in the last few months before the one you dropped, you seem a little out there. You seem a little loopy. So what the heck's going on with that? They're very different than what you're doing if you're high.
Very different. I just want to remind people that something as serious as predators trying to have sex with kids shouldn't consume your whole life, and it's okay to be just out there a little bit and being okay with who you are and just having a little bit of fun, and it shouldn't be all consuming, and you should do your own thing. And it's just a little unconventional, is why some people think it's weird, but it's fun to me. Like tomorrow I'm gonna go to the mall, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film a video called "Sketching Out Strangers at the Mall," and what it's gonna it's gonna be literally sketching out strangers. Like I'm gonna have a clipboard with paper, and I'm gonna see like someone from a distance. I'm gonna sketch them out, but it's gonna be crappily drawn, right? And I'm gonna be like, hey, I drew a picture of you, and give it to them and see their reaction. It's just all about isn't that ridiculous?
weird
It's
stuff.
ridiculous. Kids love it though.
Well, yeah, but like,
It's funny. I
are you
like
gonna
it.
keep jumping in dumpsters?
Oh,
Those are
absolutely.
dirty, dude. You
No.
found tampons and you found food.
No
You did.
tampons. No tampons. Oh, actually, you're right. I
You
forgot
said
about
it.
that.
I was like, what the hell are you
You're right.
doing in there? Get
Forgot.
out! And you're with your mom.
Oh yeah, she likes
Cait
getting
could
dirty.
kill
now.
me.
But
So gross, dude.
The
for
plants
most part,
stun me
the dumpsters
because I
are
can
pretty
move
clean
through the
because
plant.
It's not. I would never go into like an apartment dumpster, residential. I have no idea what those tampons were doing in that thrift store's dumpster. You know, that's a little bit weird. Hopefully, no one donated those to the thrift store. But for the most part, it's very clean, and I do watch out for needles. Sometimes I wear protection. But it's fun. I always shower after.
How does
you know,
show so
it can be
fast?
gross. But hey, you know, it's fun to me. You can find some cool stuff. Like yesterday, I found a cool knife. It was
Did you
nice.
keep it?
Oh yeah. And I found this Maglite flashlight. And I said Ford Motor Company. I thought that's perfect. And then the next day, I'm going to the east side, Detroit. Oh yeah, perfect.
Are people starting to recognize you on the street?
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
If I'm at the mall, it'll happen a few times at the mall.
Is it weird? It's pretty weird.
It's it's all right.
Are people
At
nice?
first it was weird. At first it was really weird. People are really nice. But some other places it doesn't happen. Like the gym I go to, lots of young people, but everyone's to themselves and never been recognized there. Sometimes people will stare. It's very weird because sometimes people will stare and then sometimes they smile or give me a thumbs up. Sometimes it's very casual. People just walking by me saying, "Hey, I like your channel." But sometimes people look at me and they look at me like they recognize me from somewhere, but they don't know who it is. And it's a little bit weird to me because I don't know if they're a fan or I don't know if they're the brother of a predator I confronted that they want to kill me. So it's difficult, you know.
How's your martial arts? I mean, are you able to fight off somebody if they came at you?
I had an interview with
He's not 6 yet.
WGRD in Grand Rapids, and Mike, the guy named Mike, he told me if someone's pointing a gun at you, you do this, and he taught me a little bit of martial arts, and I thought
So that's all you know.
That's all I know. Other than that, I can draw a gun pretty quick.
Well, Zach, you're an entertaining, interesting guy, and if you haven't seen Zach's show on YouTube called Anxiety Wars, you should definitely check it out. It's very entertaining. Thank you for coming on. Please be safe out there, and don't get yourself in any trouble.
Yeah, I can
Don't
outfight
get
her at
yourself
6.
shot.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
You promise?
Yep. I hope this year won't start off with a bang.
Oh,
So.
all right.
No.
We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. Thanks for watching Open Mic with Mike Morse and Zach Swear today. From
She's too
Anxiety
far
Wars. I
away
hope
to
you enjoyed
start
the
Varus.
episode. Please subscribe below so you can be up to date on all the things that we're doing on our show, and you'll be glad to hear that we have some Onision updates coming up and some series with Chris Hansen coming up. So if you want to be the first to know, subscribe now. Thank
Kai and Onision Greg have children in that environment.
Wow.
And there is a very strong case to be made for enticement, transmission of child porn, and some other potential federal crimes here. So we're staying on this story, and it's starting to yield some results.
Joining us this morning is Mike Morse, Detroit's top 30. Mike Morse is in here to tell us about the backpack giveaway.
change things up a little bit every year. Well, welcome Chris Hansen to the Open Mic Podcast.
Thank you, Mike Morris.
You have a great voice. Has anybody ever told you that before?
I've heard that even when I try to be.
And all done once they step out of tower.
It's really good. Were you ever in radio before TV?
I started in radio actually in Lansing, Michigan. I was at Michigan State University.
Wow. So, born and raised here in the Michigan?
Born in Chicago, and my dad was first born in 1968.
Just need her to walk a little bit further up and then I can ult.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Brother Rice High School, Michigan
There we go.
State, and started in television as a reporter. TV10 Action News. I was still in school. And that's it.
Nice. And then eventually
So
you
slow
worked
for
with
some
this guy
reason.
here who I failed to introduce, Kevin Dietz.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
Chris, good to see you again.
How we I was the Dietz family's 8th kid.
Really? Did you guys know each other in high school?
He was in my older brother's class, and so they were best of friends. And still
It's gonna flash on me.
So I saw a lot of them as a younger brother, kind of tagging
Here
along.
we set a bad example for him.
That's interesting. Okay. And then how'd you guys? Who got a job at Channel 4 first?
Chris did. I am quite a bit younger than Chris. So so I was never.
I liked you
actually
too, so I should get back pretty fast.
And then when I was in college, I started working in radio. He was working at Channel 10 in Lansing, and then I went to work up north. And then I
She should have backed over here.
So then when Chris went to Dateline, I
But when there's
gave
two
him
around
a
you, it's
job,
hard.
basically. It's a funny story because you know, I'd been interviewing trying to get you.
It gets
to-
better every time we tell it.
Yeah. Right. But I was Chris was heading off to.
My CSing has been really bad this game.
TV market, and I was trying to get to Detroit to any of the stations. And Chris
Part of it is just like I didn't know if Cait wanted any CS.
So he told the news director, he said, "Look,
It's kind of a weird matchup too. Like I don't know when Cait's gonna want to go in.
all my contacts on this page, and I'm giving this page to Kevin Dietz. So my contact, I call
I
him
can hit that'll get off some damage, but Brand's really strong.
the phone and end up on your news station. You better hire him at Channel 4 and not let him go to Channel 7.
That's nice.
Immediate success.
That dark herb stick.
You left here in '93. Is that true?
93.
Alright, I got it.
Actually, originally for
Bounced down.
another show that was on for
I could probably get a couple kills here.
Because I remember you on Channel 4. You were great there, and I remember thinking that was a loss for Detroit. You moving on to New York, but then I thought this, they found a star.
Well, it was interesting because I always thought that I'd end up staying in Detroit my whole life. Growing up with
I also didn't take heal because Cait had heal, so I took ignite.
And 3 years at Channel 7 and 5 years at Channel 4.
I don't think they're
This
jugglers, though.
opportunity came. I really thought I'd go away for 2 years and come back, and just one thing led to another. And now turned into Dateline, and Dateline turned into everything else.
I'll let him finish off the CS, so it'll be nice.
6 years later, it's great.
It is amazing. So, take me on the path of how To Catch a Predator came around. Whose idea was it? Was that an immediate thing when you got to Dateline? I don't remember the.
No,
the
it was many years later. So I started at NBC in '93, and about 2004, I was talking to Kevin actually, and we speak at least once a month about stories, what are you working on, what's happening, what are the trends, and I said,
She's rushing maybe RFC.
it's Perverted Justice. They're an online watchdog, and they used to set up scams.
I have ult up. I'm a little bit worried about a Brand ultimate.
They have a decoy presence, 13, 14 guy trying to solicit
I should have wasted arrow like that.
on their website. And we got talking, and I talked to them, and I pitched it for a Dateline story, thinking that if we could use our hidden camera our house and
My ult wouldn't go off.
but honestly, Mike, I didn't know it was going to happen.
So this was your idea.
So we
Well,
did it here. I did the story here locally. It wasn't called To Catch a Predator. We called it something Online Predators.
Oh wow, 1.5.
And
It's a lot longer than I thought. I thought it was 1 second.
they had this unit, Perverted Justice, who did this kind of thing anyway. That's just what they did. They would catch these people and they'd put it online. So we teamed up with them. And they started looking for people. And they found them. They'd come to the door. They'd show up with their Twinkies or whatever we asked them to bring.
This guy should be
They'd
killable.
run down
I have
the
both
street,
sums.
chase them. They'd drive off in their cars. They'd fly away. We didn't have the police involved arresting them or anything. We were just kind of figuring it out.
It's alright, I'll just fucking spam on him.
How many
Wait, is he
people
gonna live?
respond to this thing? What happens with this show?
Come on.
It's just unbelievable.
I hit all my stuff on him.
Television. And I said, you really should look into it and take a look at it. It was very successful here. We ended up doing it 4 times, which is a ton for local TV.
Thought this would be a lot less worthless. I should have taken heal.
Exactly.
But I thought the first time we did it in Long Island that, what if nobody shows up? Honestly, we had Perverted Justice there, posing as kids. We had hidden cameras, we had regular cameras, we had security, but I'm driving to the house, and I'm thinking, what if I just...
I should have queued him while he was running away for the Dark Harvest stack, and I think he would have just taken
I
a...
get a phone call from my producer saying there's 2 guys on there, due in 45 minutes. Where are you? We have been 17 men, including...
But he would have died faster.
Came to the door and appeared at 2 days.
Was that the biggest one you did?
Oh my gosh, it curved.
2 investigations after that in Riverside County, California, 51 men shot.
So as I was preparing for this interview, I watched it and I didn't realize that there were so many people per house. One was 11 I saw, this one 13, this one 51. I mean, those are unbelievable numbers. So how did you space them apart?
Well, sometimes we didn't. I remember one time in Florida we had 2 show up at the same time, and you know, the producer and the security guy looks at me and said, "How do you feel about doing 2 in a crowd? Because they're outside." I said, you know, "What's their background? Do they look violent? Do we think they carry weapons or anything?"
I might just throw out alt here.
Walk in. Never forget, one guy was slaves for mistresses, and the other guy was tennis boy 213, and I introduced them to each other. One guy knew what the deal was. He recognized me, and the other guy did not. And he looks at me and says, "You know that when he's through with us, we are so..." It was amazing. And then Flagler Beach, Florida.
You also caught one guy like twice, right? Like you came to 2 different sting houses.
Well, we had one guy who showed up in Riverside, and I could see that he had some sort of surgery inside of his head. It was a cutout scar, and it wasn't the sharpest fellow it appeared to be. And so he didn't have a major role in that particular investigation because he was some of the other guys anyway. And then
Why is it so hard to see us?
a couple hours away, and this guy's online again, and he says in the transcript, he says, "I can't come on Friday, I've got a court date." Well, the court date was from the Riverside investigation, so he shows up on a Saturday night, and then we get into his background.
That is so sick.
So we were just realizing how to find out about these guys more before they arrive, which is the key to this. And we realized that he had done a year in jail for a violent attack. I said, "Well, all bets are off. I don't care whether he's got scars or not. He's making a move." And we, caught him in that story.
So, I mean, I have so many questions running through my head. How many total people did you have to sit down with?
Probably.
Oh my gosh, my hand was misplaced. I pressed E instead of R.
And out of those 330, were almost all arrested?
In the first 2 investigations, Mike, we didn't have a parallel investigation with the police. We just did.
I was waiting for the brand to step back, because if I was gonna start back so I could queue. But this thing wouldn't go up.
Was prosecuted. In the second investigation, there was a rabbi, there was a teacher, there was a military guy, there was all people from all walks of life, and so some prosecutions were made in that case, and it was then that I figured out this isn't just a 1-shot deal or a 2-shot deal. This is something we're going to have to continue. And 2 things came to mind. One, it was socially irresponsible to let these guys just go because it was harder for the police to build a case. And 2, it was unfulfilling for the viewer to see these guys walk away on the limb just from a practical television perspective. So it was right about then that we were contacting the Riverside County Sheriff's Department and said, "Do you want to do this?" And so we fashioned a way, and we took a lot of criticism from, Scarlet J journalists. "You're working too close to police. You can't do this. You can't do that." Well, you know what? Sometimes you have to change the rules. You have to expand your horizons. You have to do what's right for society, for the school, for public safety. And I'll take that criticism anytime.
Yeah,
Wow, Cait lived.
I saw some of that criticism, and I didn't get it. I mean, you were here, the first one. I mean, some people thought that you were, entrapping these people. I don't see that at all.
It's not entrapment. First of all, you have to be law enforcement to commit entrapment. It's not a civilian civil infraction,
Right, I was
as you know.
gonna say
As
that,
a
yep.
lawyer. Yeah, so that's number 1. Number 2, we have a very strict protocol. And even the last one that we did, the most recent one in Connecticut, the guys have to raise the spectrum of sex. They have to make the solicitation. They have to make the first approach. There are a number of protocols in place that are consistent with those of law enforcement and a fair and honest.
Oh, Wukong could have screwed us there. I don't know why he didn't.
The solicitation online that makes the case,
Right.
that breaks law. Him showing up is the TV, really. At the end of the day.
Well, it's also the overt act. I mean, they can get in trouble for soliciting online, but
He wouldn't let me
I
ward.
doubt there's many cases that are made just
Man, I
for
can't see us
online
any lane today.
chatting. I mean, I think your idea to bring him forward is just brilliant. I don't know.
I got 1 CS from that.
Doing that, and the fact that this is your idea. you after doing 2 episodes, you're like, we need law enforcement, and then you approached law enforcement and said, you guys want to partner with us?
Well, law enforcement in that case actually approached us, and since then it's been somewhat in between. I've approached law enforcement in the most recent investigation. It was approaching the Fairfield Police Department in Connecticut. We're in discussions with 2 or 3 others to go back out there and do another one. And as you know that the technology out there is so vastly different, and there are so many more social platforms upon which an underage boy or girl can be approached and solicited.
They're reaching into the video games now. Your kids online playing video games, and also the
I think I can push. I don't see any of them.
You know, they're making an arrangement to try and meet your kid.
I can only send one to stop.
Facebook, you're so far away. There's so many ways.
I'll give you an example. I'm sitting with one of my producers when we're doing the Crime Watch Daily Show, and he's with his son who's then 14, and he's on some app. And I said, "What are you doing?" He looked out to a restaurant. And I said, "Well, this is a neat thing. I can talk to whomever I want to, or randomly at any given time." And he said, "Well, how's it work?" The kid's 15, and ends up talking to a woman who identifies herself as being 42 and says, "I just got out of the shower. I'm kind of wired to woman." He said, "Give me that," But it's
Crazy.
yeah.
I haven't
Man, you really want me to use Flash for that.
things, and it's scary. So I want to just, out of the 330 people that you've had to sit down with and confront in this situation, how many do you keep track of how many were charged and how many actually pled guilty or went to trial?
Where there was a prosecution that ended in a dismissal. And even then, it had worked its way through the court system for so long. It was for a couple different evidentiary reasons.
I might just rush Last Whisper for this guy.
And they said, well, he served some time.
Yeah, I was only able to half help him, and all he has is Ninja's Heavy.
That I followed. Since law enforcement did a parallel investigation, there's either been a guilty plea,
I don't think I could have flashed away from that, but maybe I could.
virtually every single.
I'm literally getting CS starred by my own team.
What do you think it is that makes To Catch a Predator so interesting to everybody? I mean, not a month goes by that I don't see a reference to it pop up somewhere. Either it's a punchline on a late night comedy, or it's in a TV series somewhere, or South Park does an episode on it. What is it about it that just captivates everybody?
Well, I think there are a number of things. One, we took people into a world they wouldn't have seen before. Everything is about crime. And for guys like you and me who have made a living,
I don't want to stand next to them if Wukong wins.
whether it's Killer Instinct or ID or any of the things I'm working on now. And so there is this
That doesn't increase the root.
innate interest when you can take people inside of a crime, show them things they wouldn't normally see, have them listen to things they wouldn't normally hear, all from the comfort of their cell phone, their television, or their computer. It draws people in. There's just no way around it. So I think there's that. I think there's, when we started doing it, it was
Dropping all on the squishy or on the Nasus?
important that we not just
That's the
take these
question.
guys with their head and chase them down the street necessarily, but to lure them in
I don't know who to focus
to
at
a
this point.
conversation where I can get inside these people's heads and hear what they were thinking, good, bad, or indifferent. And it
Kinda
just
hard to
became
stack.
this pop culture thing. I always tell the story. My kids, thought it was no big deal that their dad was on television. They went to high school with, bond traders and bond vivants and all kinds of things.
Yeah, the Drake.
It's another job. But when South Park did the Paradise Documentary, suddenly I was the coolest dad at Fairfield High School.
That's fabulous. I watched that yesterday. Kevin sent that to me. It was great.
Petite Tourette.
So, I mean, I'm wondering, as I'm watching these episodes, unfortunately it didn't eradicate online predators.
No.
But do people think twice? Did it help curtail some of the scumbags out there?
I think what it does is it tells parents, you better pay attention. These guys are out here, they're coming in big numbers. They probably can't stop themselves. Even if they knew it was a sting operation, they're going to come. So parents better pay attention. This is not something that you can just watch on TV and not think that it can't happen.
That's a good point. Because I remember when I first saw the show, when was the first what year was the first episode?
2004.
And it went until the first.
Originals went until on NBC till right around 2009, and then we recut them and redid them, and they aired forever on MSNBC, and then we went back out 3 years ago and did another one.
Right. So I remember the first time watching it that it was like kind of the beginning of the internet ish. I mean, not really, but kind of. And it was like, it was like a wake up call. It was a massive wake up call, I think, for the whole world to see these shows. And so good for you for doing this, and good for you for coming up with this concept.
Well, people were a little bit afraid of the concept. I gotta tell you, we did it, and it was ready to go in May at NBC, and it didn't air until that fall. And ultimately, there was a meeting, of everybody working on it, and one of the senior guys says, "I'm just not sure how to promote this." I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Here's how you promote it. There's a guy standing outside your back door, and he wants to have sex with you. What do you do? Tonight, we're going to show you how to stop that. That's how you do it."
And when on the air, did you have was there any media backlash?
There was no backlash, but I can tell you because of the
Why am I focusing the NASA pseudos?
I'm trying to read this very carefully because to me, it's not just being a journalist, it's also being a father, being held accountable to the schools, fellow parents, etc. So you try to take people into the graphic nature of it without exploiting it. But when it was airing at 8 o'clock, you have an advertising problem. When you're airing at 9 o'clock, you don't have an advertising problem.
And part of the story, Mike, is you want to show the parents how it goes from an initial contact online to somebody actually coming to your house. So what they do is they show the entire conversation, how it starts here, but it builds up into something else. And as you're trying to tell that story, you have to deal with adult
He's healing. Can I get an execution?
And it's amazing to me. People say, why does this continue? Well, it's the addictive nature, the anonymity, and the access. I mean, people say things online that they wouldn't say face to face, and then it becomes acceptable. And so what a 30-year-old guy who maybe is in this middle category of not offending unless he had access to the internet, suddenly this is okay because it starts incrementally. And the seduction, the grooming from the other end is accepted incrementally. And suddenly the guy who was a stranger on Tuesday is your best buddy who's going to send you a cell phone on Friday.
As I was watching your interviews, I mean, I was wondering, I was trying to imagine what's going through your head. I mean, do you ever feel sorry for these?
Sometimes you see a veteran come in who fought in Iraq, who's got PTSD, who's living a rough life, looking for love, thought in a moment that maybe he saw something in somebody who was too young, but then you see the other side of it, and you realize that if it wasn't a decoy, it was a real 14, 15-year-old, just the conversation and the first exposure to sexual activity or to the male anatomy at that age is a life-altering and harmful experience that that child will carry for the rest of their life. And you know the laws, and that's why we have such strict laws on child pornography. And every viewing is a re-victimization of that child.
And seriously, now if you care about these people who have this illness who are doing this, if you suspect someone you love or know is involved with this, you want to get involved right away to help them stop that. I mean, every day down in federal court, I see 2, 3, 4, 5 of these cases come in, and they are charging them with anything from 5 years to 105 years, based on how far they're able to get.
Damn, you don't think 90 is so strong.
Yeah,
I was just standing there.
it's bad for them because you could say, oh, they're sick or they're not right. But at the same time, you want to get help for them because you don't want more victims, and you don't necessarily want them to spend the rest of their life in jail if it can be prevented.
And here's the key. If you talk to people who deal with these guys in prison, guys who are doing lengthy sentences with nothing to lose, so they tell the truth, you realize they're not all the same guy. And what we want in society today is a one-size-fits-all cure, a drug, a punishment, or therapy of some sort. And they're not the same guy. So one guy may have to be locked up the rest of their life. One guy could have therapy and punishment and be done. One guy could have probation and monitoring computer access and never reoffend. But we don't want to take the time, and it's not a glamorous part of the medical world.
Right. It's interesting, you know, as I was watching, you know, and I think you alluded to it on one of the episodes I watched, this was not their first time doing this. And they try to tell you it's their first time. I love how you try to draw them out before you tell them why you're there, or who you're there for. Do they think you're the dad, or whatever? I mean, why are these people actually talking? Why aren't they bolting out of that room?
Well, some do, to be fair. Some do, but very few. Amazingly, still to me.
And I was trying to figure out the psychology of that. I'm curious what your thoughts are, because I want to know your thoughts. But my thought was, you know, they're I mean, inside these people are like acting like they're like children. They're like these wounded, and they got caught. And you're standing. You tell them to have a seat. They sit. So you're now kind of the parent role, standing above them. They know they got caught. They do look like children to me. Even though they're 30, 40 years old, they look like children. And I'm wondering if they're like paralyzed, they can't go. I mean, one guy offered you a piece of pizza. Remember that episode? You turned it down.
The latest one. We had the pizza waiting for him. He picked up the pizza.
Right.
We told him where to go.
That's a good deal, my Cait.
We have the drop
Good stuff.
on it, you know, psychologically. I think it is, as you say, a little bit of the authority figure
Oh
component.
damn, I was expecting the choke flash.
For a lot of reasons, you know, for safety of me, of the crew, everybody there. But I also think that they don't always know. Sometimes they'll recognize, you know, it's Chris Hansen, it's the Hansen versus Predators, or To Catch a Predator, but they really don't know, and they're so busy trying to figure it out. And then it switches over to, maybe I should just get it off my chest. I've been carrying this horrible secret for so long that I'm gonna just, and when I look at them, I say, take me into your mind and explain to me why you do this. And more often than not, they'll say,
What's her attack speed actually? Whenever she runs away, I can't look at her build. It's so bad. When are they gonna fix that?
With my speed, you get it, and it has become a problem, or whatever their issue is.
This one, the pizza episode that we're referring to, he was, I mean, he basically, you said to him, well, what do you expect to do? If the mother consents to this, are you planning on having sex with her or marrying her? And he basically said, maybe. Like, that's a real possibility for this
This guy drove from Boston. Jeff Soper was his name. Worked in the insurance business. Drove from Boston to Fairfield, Connecticut.
I'm not surprised he worked in I'm sorry to say.
I set you right up there, didn't I?
You set me up. Keep going.
So he shows up and calls along the way and says, you know, where should I stop? Well, you know, my son, who was on the crew, my oldest son, I said, you know, you went to high school out here, what's the pizza business? Send him to XYZ Pizza. So he did. So, you know, we can follow him all the way in. It just gives us a little help tracking him. So he shows up with the pizza, and in his car, he's got this wedding contract of sorts, basically saying if she signs here and puts her signature and her initials, that it's going to be okay.
They have sex.
They have
It's legal. He can't get arrested.
Right, in his own mind. It's bizarre. That was the same investigation, by the way, where we had a guy show up who was a guy who worked for the local cable company, so he was in people's homes every day, and he was on the waiting list to become a law enforcement officer in the state of Connecticut. The former spoker who had a gun, a knife, a camera, duct tape, and rope in
That
his
scared me. I read that. That's
was trouble.
now. Was that on the air? Did that get aired?
Yeah, oh yeah, they did.
So I have to go back and watch that one. That's the fact that you guys are able to, the cops search the cars after and find. I mean, that is a scary situation.
And
Had
imagine
you not
this
been
guy,
there?
yeah, well, what's going to happen? And he wanted to take the girl for driving lessons. What's going to happen at the end of that driving
It's
lesson?
not going to be a good lesson.
And if he hadn't,
Sounds rough, but taking out Jinx was worth.
Wait a minute. He's not catching every decoy.
right,
There are thousands of kids out there who are actually meeting with adults today,
all the time.
and that's really the scary thing, because this is probably just the tip of the iceberg.
I mean, you talked to Alicia Casatona, who's a leading speaker in this field, victims advocate. He was online several years ago at the age of 15, and this guy tricks her into giving information.
I'm not building IE this game.
Kidnaps her, takes her to his basement, sexually assaults her, and live streams it. Right? And until the FBI finally figures out through those streams where it is, rescues her. She thought she was dead. Now she goes and speaks, and we sit on some phones together. But it's a harrowing story. Then this guy pleads guilty, does 17 years. They let him on a parole to the same neighborhood near Pittsburgh where her family lives. So they lock him back up because of,
She was weird, but it worked.
I mean,
It's all on her side.
was really a good girl, good family, good home, thinking she was following the safety rules and got lured by a guy into this situation.
Unbelievable.
So when people say it can't happen, or you can't do it, that's what I tell them.
But you've seen it. When you haven't seen every episode, I'm planning on binge watching your entire catalog.
That sounds like a pleasant Thanksgiving.
Let's take it over Christmas, maybe.
Your in-laws must be horrible.
During the confrontations, have you ever been physically attacked?
There have been a couple occasions where somebody lunged, or I could tell that this guy, much more buff than I, was tensing up and was thinking about punching or doing something.
You do, but you don't. They could be carrying a weapon.
We try to do everything in our power or not. Through background research, if they're carrying, we have some other technology that we use. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's that's why I'm always watching their hands. So it's not just an interview. You're monitoring a lot of different things at the same time. So, get your hands out of your pocket.
But you're alone in there. I mean, that's
Well, it looks like I'm alone, but Ronnie Knight is 4 feet away.
That's why he always says, "Would you like to have a cookie?" So he's busy with his hands with the food.
A lot goes into the security protocol. You're right. You are flying, by the seat of your pants on some of this, and that's why I think it's become so wildly popular and iconic. Is because there's no fake it. I still get questions from people all the time. What happens to the actors? No, those aren't actors. Those are real. Wait, that was real? Yeah, it's real. This isn't some.
we could devise a metal detector that could go around the door that they would know, and as they come in, it starts beeping. But then that blows the whole cover. I love the scene when you announce who you are, and then the camera crews slowly descend. There's like 3 or 4 people, and they're all coming in, and I'm like, what the hell is this at this point? I mean, that's also kind of an iconic scene. Then when they all just kind of descend on it, and at least the episodes I watched, I mean, they just sat there and they're like.
Your turn.
Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. I got Reese's Puffs in my bowl. Nowadays on cruise control. I got Reese's Puffs in my bowl. And just like that, I'm on a roll. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Peanut butter chocolate flavor. Reese's Puffs, Reese's That's what I wake up to. My Reese's Puffs inspired this rhyme. That peanut butter chocolate combination's on time. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. I got Reese's Puffs in my bowl. Nowadays on cruise control. I got Reese's Puffs in my bowl. And just like that, I'm on a roll. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Peanut butter chocolate flavor. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. In the AM, it's the flavor I savor. Peanut butter and chocolate too. You know how I do, that's what I wake up to. My Reese's Puffs inspired this rhyme. That peanut butter chocolate combination's on time. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. I got Reese's Puffs in my bowl. Nowadays on cruise control. I got Reese's Puffs in my bowl. And just like that, I'm on a roll. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em inspired this rhyme. That peanut butter chocolate combinations